Well, welcome back to Rants and Drives. And, man, let's just say I just watched the Apple event, and wow. Like, if you know how to break down what I just said in English terms, and maybe not so expressive, good job. Because now you know exactly how I feel. Let's get into it. So, holy cow. First of all, let's just address, I'm driving in the rain, so I'm gonna do my best to kind of block out and noise cancel all of that. But, yeah. For future references, sorry. I will do my best. But, is it just me? Or is Apple... I mean, they took a page straight out of, like, Canon's book. Just gonna say, like, let's be honest, if you're a photographer or videographer, like, you love tech, you're probably, most of you that I know of are invested in Apple products. It's a great ecosystem. But man, this event, I'll go ahead and say it, the past two events for the 15, I'll even say the 14, 15, and now the 16 is just meh. I'm a huge Apple lover. Keep this in mind throughout this episode. I am a massive Apple fan. You can call me a fanboy, that's perfectly fine. But dadgum, what is going on? Like, it's borderline irritating because I feel like these companies have so much money. Like, I'll go as far as to say they're $1 billion company. They have so much money. So when I see something so non-innovative, no chances being taken, I get a little upset. Because it's not that you don't have the funds to do some R&D. It's not that. And it's not like, I don't know, like, you have tons of employees. So it's not like you don't have the people there that could think of something. I'm sure you're pitched ideas all the time. And if not, go to freaking YouTube. There's people dreaming up all sorts of ideas. So it's not a lack of ideas. Like, this one's probably the most frustrating because, like, okay, to give you some context, I have a 13 Pro. I love it. It's great. Gets the job done. I have yet to seen any new update that makes me go, oh my goodness, I have to update. I have to get the new one. I was literally banking on this being the year. I was saving up my pennies, like putting some money off to the side because I'm like, this is gonna be it, dude. I'm finally gonna have that one time, like, where I'm like, they did it, I can finally upgrade, and this is gonna be the year that I do that. Boy, was I freaking wrong. Like, here's the thing. There are general upgrades. If you're just tuning in, I've probably mentioned this before. There are general upgrades that you should expect from certain companies. Like, if you're shopping for a camera, you should expect for there to be better autofocus. You should expect for there to be better low light. Like, different little things like that, because if that's not there, then they're not really making a better product, and you didn't get a better product. Just throwing that out there. So when I see, like, something like, hey, we made the cameras better. Yeah, you always do. I expect it, kind of. So it's just not exciting anymore. So, like, when they're like, we made a 40, what is it, 48? I think it's 48 megapixel ultra wide camera. And you're like, okay, cool. That appeals to, I don't know, a couple thousand people, I guess. But like, it's not like groundbreaking. Like, I'll be honest, the ultra wide camera on mine is not the best, and it's been the same for 3 years now or something like that. But like, I don't know, I didn't really use it or need it. There's GoPros for that. Cameras that I don't mind beating the living crap out of, because that's what they're designed for. Like, if I want an ultra wide, I'm not gonna stick my phone outside my car and mount it to the side of my car, because if something happens, I'm out of phone. So like, scratch that idea. I might use it for skateboarding, but like, then again, that's only getting uploaded to Instagram or TikTok or whatever. So I don't, there's just not a need. There's not a need. It's a, look what we did, and hoping that someone like falls in love with that feature, or it appeals to those people. Like, I don't know. It just, like, the main camera is still just the main camera. They didn't touch that sucker at all. I mean, I guess rightfully so. There's nothing wrong with it. The telly didn't touch. I don't know. It seems like the same telly as the last one. So it's cool that it's a tetraprism. I appreciate the tech and stuff in that. Like, that was innovative. So I appreciated that from last year. But again, I don't need it. So like, I'm not really like wowed by it. It's cool. I get it. I appreciate the tech and advance in optics, but I still don't, I don't need a tetraprism in my iPhone. Like, if I'm honest, like, the normal camera is just fine. And I'm also a photographer, so I have other actual expensive lenses that cover that range. So again, I don't need it. So I don't know. When it comes to camera specs, I wasn't impressed. They did upgrade the processor to allow you to do 4K 120. That's impressive. I'll take that spec over the tetraprism. I don't know. There's nothing wowing me camera-wise. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, ProRes log, that was super cool, super innovative. I appreciated that. That one was tempting. But again, how much crap am I filming in log ProRes on my phone? I have professional cameras for that. That if I want that shot, I'm gonna use that camera, not my iPhone. I don't know, they're features that I feel like they're putting into it that don't let your phone just be a phone. They're trying to do like the whole one-all thing, and I get it, you know, profits. But I feel like some of those specs don't help me purchase don't help me purchase the phone. They're incremental. They're not innovative. They don't excite me. They don't, I don't know, make me want to upgrade a phone. They're just like, okay, like, I'll wait for the next one. It's fine. Like, that's how I feel. So camera-wise, all the video features and all that, like, as much as I appreciate them, I don't need any of them. They were not groundbreaking enough for me to go, I 110% need that. Didn't happen. So that was, to me, very disappointing. Moving on to the next thing. They are really, like, hounding and really pushing AI. And I get it. That's where the world is heading, is, you know, AI stuff. So I get heavily pushing that. But for that to be the selling point, I don't know. Like, that's for those of us, which I'm gonna be honest, majority of the world doesn't need AI. So for you to be like pushing that as like, this is how we're gonna sell this phone, a bad move. It's not compelling enough. Like, not enough people need AI in their life. So I don't know. It's just, it wasn't innovative. And it's all software based, let's be honest. Like, last year's iPhone, in my personal opinion, could easily handle majority of the AI stuff that they're trying to push on you. They just need to sell you a whole nother phone for it. So, I don't know. That one was very lackluster. Are there cool things you can do with AI? 100%. And for those people who use AI on a more regular basis, like doing emails and stuff like that, like, that's probably super handy. And in that case, cool. Like, I get it. I'm happy for you. But I feel like the vast majority of people didn't need half of that crap from AI. So for Apple to invest so much money into something that a lot of people don't need is just, in my opinion, a bad move. I will say, let's get some positivity in here. Like, we're pretty negative right now, so let's switch things up. I will say that new Desert Titanium, that's freaking beautiful. I'm a huge fan of like tan and green colors, very earthy tones. That tan looks gorgeous. I'll give it to Apple on that one. That looks freaking stunning. I would absolutely love to have that color, but I don't need it. So like, props on the color, like, stunning. And on the 16s, I do like that you reeled back so many different color options and just made them bolder. I appreciate that. I think they look stunning. That teal is the one though. Like, I feel like if you're gonna pick one, that teal is the one. So, I don't know. Like, let's talk. I did miss the one camera feature that they really pushed pretty hard, and that is the capture button. I don't know if we needed this, and it's, personally, to me, it's in a very odd spot. So, I don't know. Sorry, I made it home into my driveway already, so we'll just keep yapping. It's just in an odd spot. Like, so, like, I mean, I know I always tell you to use this as a podcast, but for visual references, if you want to look, I have my 13 Pro. It's just here. I feel like that's just odd. And let's be honest, most of us, if we're taking a photo with it, we're just using the volume button that you already gave us. We didn't need an extra button. So I just feel like that was an odd one to throw in there and be like, look what we did. It's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. The button looks fantastic. I just feel like no one needed that. I don't know who asked for that. I don't know. I guess if you're a mobile filmmaker and you're that guy who's trying to make everything cinematic on your phone, sure. I guess that's a good spot. Like, it's comfortable when you hold it sideways, but when you're like this, when you have the smaller phone, I feel like that's awkward. Now, on the bigger one, this volume button, or this power button, or lock button, whatever you want to call that freaking button, is up here. And that button's probably going to be here. That's probably better. So I could see that being more beneficial on the Max, comfort-wise, but I don't know. That's a weird selling point for a feature. So when you're trying to push something like that, buttons don't really, like, wow me, as opposed to, like, wow, look what you did there. Like, you put another button. Look at you. That I'm going to send you an extra $200 for that, but, like, no. Like, even when cameras do that, I don't really care. Like, we'll use this for instance, like Leica's Q3, super minimalistic. I love that. There is barely any buttons on that thing. If you need something, all your exposure tools are out and readily available. Like, you got your shutter dial, your aperture ring, and you could map your ISO to something, like the wheel in the back or something like that. perfect, exactly what I think people are looking for when it comes to a phone. You don't need all these buttons. They get in the way, people get pissed off, and then disable them. And then you just wasted a bunch of money on R&D trying to like push these new things on people. I just didn't I don't know. I think this next one, I know people keep saying that, but genuinely, I'm looking at this one as an S. And I feel like if you're a huge Apple person, that's probably how you're looking at this one. It seems like we went back to S models. It's just refined. Same as last year's, just refined. I feel like we've been refining for quite a bit. And like I said, I'm still on the 13 Pro, and we're just refining this. Like from the 12 to the 13, I feel like was decent enough to upgrade. But so far from the 14, 15, 16, it's just been refinement. So I just don't see that I just don't see the value. I really don't. It's just, it's a lot of money, man. And for there not to be like that big wow factor. Like my wife uses she has the 13 Pro Max. She loves the size of it. She's not going to downgrade to a 16 plus. Like, not going to happen. She's going to want the Pro. $1,200 for half the features she's not going to use, it's not worth it. It's not. She doesn't use it like a computer. She uses it more like a phone. And obviously, because we're photographers, like, she's uploading photos, she's uploading videos, but that's about it. So, that's my struggle right there. It's just not enough value. And they're like, we made the screens bigger. And you're like, okay. The screens weren't small to begin with. Like, do they look better now that the screen pretty much touches the edge? Yeah, it looks much better. But I didn't need that. So, again, we're right back to where, like, I don't need any of these things that you're trying to show all flashy at me. Like, I don't know. I'm glad Siri got an overhaul, but again, I don't even use Siri is off on my phone because she's been so trash, and I just don't use AI. Like, the most AI I use is the Adobe podcast to clean up the audio on this. Like, that's it. And that's probably sad. I should probably use AI more, but like, that's it. And then maybe in Photoshop, taking things up and cleaning up pictures, like just removing trash from the ground and stuff. That's it. Maybe a stain from a shirt. That's the AI I use. So when you throw so much AI power into something that I don't need it in, it becomes like meh. It loses its value. And I don't know, they try to throw a bunch of like childlike features at you. Like, but you can make your own emojis. And I'm like, I don't care to. I have 10 that I use at most that I go back to. And that's it. Like, I don't touch any other emojis. Like, I'm not a huge emoji person to begin with, so what do I need to customize a one for with using AI? Like, but now you got ChatGPT, and you're like, yeah, so does my computer at home whenever I need it, but I don't need it on my phone. So what do I need ChatGPT in my pocket for? Do you see what I'm getting at? I hope so, because this is just like, that's like pointless. That is the most useless feature I think I've seen Apple shove into a phone since Siri was put in your phone. Like, no, I don't know that many people who actually use Siri. Now, like, speak to text, like, I know tons of people who use that, but that's not Siri. So that's not like, Siri is still not beneficial there. I don't know. Maybe I'm dead wrong, and maybe like everyone who's listening to me go on and on about this is probably like, he needs to shut up. We love these features. let me know if I'm wrong. If this is what appeals to you, go for it. Let me know. I would love to know, because I'm just not tracking. I'm I'm not that person. And I've been a huge Apple fan, and I still love Apple. Like, I have a Mac Studio, I got an iPad, I have obviously the 13 Pro. Things I feel like they need to improve on and just make better is just bring the fun back into phones. These are just so mundane now. Like, let's be honest. So in this part, I guess we'll just throw out ideas that I think are just so innovative. It could be from other phone companies, I don't care. That just really excite me. That I'm just like looking at and I'm like, that looks dope. I would love that in my iPhone. Like, give me that. And I'll tell you, the first thing is not AI. So if you haven't caught on to that by now, I don't know. You haven't been listening very well. But I will say, there's one feature that I just thought was so cool when I saw it. And ever since I saw it, I'm like, I'm tempted. I'm so tempted. If AirDrop did not rule half of my media workflow, man, I would swap in a second. Because Samsung's foldable phone, when you fold it halfway so it looks like an L, you can flip it sideways and use it like a camcorder. That's innovation. That's so sick. I'm not gonna lie, as an Apple user, that's freaking dope. And I'm 110% jealous that you guys have that. Because all you gotta do is throw a little overlay on it, and you have retro camcorder footage. That's dope. VHS style, dude. That's innovation. That's what people are looking for. They're looking for something fun again. And I don't know. That just seems super cool to me. Another thing, super slow motion. Super slow motion. People don't care so much about 4K as much. 4K is nice. Yeah, it's cool. But people love having fun with super slow motion. I'm talking the new GoPro, 400 frames a second. You know how many people batted an eye at the resolution being 720? No one. No one really cares. It's the effect of super slow motion, everyone going, that's cool. That, what does that look like in super slow motion? When you give that to anyone and everyone who has a phone, you get really cool things, things that you wouldn't think about people filming in super slow motion. That's a really cool feature. That's something I would like to see. I don't need 4K 120 on my phone. I have cameras for that. Again, that's just lackluster. So, yeah, 400 frames a second. 500 would be even cooler. Just that super slow motion stuff is just so cool when you get to see life slowed down so much. That's what people are wanting to see. Because it's fun again. It's little fun features like that just make things better. And let's be honest, it's not a feature you're going to use all the time. It's one of those features that you see something happening and you go, "Oh, bro, do that again." And then you film it like that. Your buddy drives through a mud puddle. I don't know. I off-road a lot. So he drives through the mud. That in 400 frames, chef's kiss. Give me that all day. That looks super sick. In 120, it looks cool, but even slower, dude. Just seeing the mud fly up and stuff. That's cool. That's what people want. I just feel that's, I don't know. Who gives a crap about the resolution? 720 is passable on social media. It's all on this size of a screen anyways that people are watching. So who cares? If anything below 720 probably won't pass though. I'm going to be honest. If it's in 480, I don't know if people are going to watch it, but I'm just saying that's super cool. And then also going back to the Samsung one, sorry, they're innovating. So I'm going to give them props. A foldable phone is super cool. I feel the kinks of a foldable phone have been worked out. It's been a couple years, Like, I'll be honest, Samsung does things first, and they usually crash miserably the whole first year, maybe 2. But eventually they get it, and they're the ones who start it. And then Apple comes along like freaking 5 years later and go, we got a flip phone. And you're like, yeah, but like the coolness of it is gone because someone did it like 5 years ago. So I just feel like Apple's like falling behind like quite a bit now. Like almost too much. We can't have this many year of S's and improvements and refinements. We need innovation. We need something, even if it's not that good when it comes out. We're okay with it. It's fine. I just want something cool to play with again. Like when I got this, it's because I missed having the telephoto lens. When I used to have the 13 mini, it was only I think it was the ultra wide and the regular. And I'm like, oh, but I missed the telephoto. Upgraded to that because the telephoto is fun. But like I said before, like, I don't need 5x. What do I need 5x for? Like, that's too zoomed. It's like too much. I don't know. That's just like, again, it's just certain things. Like when it's too late, the fun of having it is like just gone. Do you see what I'm saying? Like right now, point and shoot cameras are like huge. They're everywhere. They're premium ones. There's cheap ones. It is a huge thing because people are tired of taking photos on their phone. So when you keep upgrading this, hoping people will come back to it, it's not going to happen right away. Like, so instead of putting all the R&D into it right now, like, save it for next year. Put it when, I don't know, point and shoot cameras die out again. Like, they lost their flair for a while, so let it die down again. Upgrade the crap out of this, and then when you put it out, people go, oh yeah, I didn't need my point and shoot anyways. I got my phone. That's when you jump on it. You didn't make that big of an improvement to where people will ditch that. There's nostalgia attached to it right now that people aren't willing to give up. So, I don't know. That's just a weird thing. Hopefully you're tracking with me. The screen looks great. I think it's the same as the iPad. If not, I wish it was the same as the new iPad. If you haven't like messed with the new iPad and looked at the screen, it looks stunning. It's absolutely gorgeous. I would like that in my phone. Please, yes, and thank you. And from what I watched, it's not on there. It's just the normal. They put tougher glass, which thank you, I guess. I never chipped my screen anyways, so knock on wood. But yeah, I don't know. There's not enough innovation. And also, why don't we have Touch ID back through the screen? Like, I still have to do Face ID every time. Put it. Everyone else has done it. Samsung's done it. You can put your thumb right there in the middle of the screen. It will read it and lets you in, and you never see it. That's innovation. Why don't we have that yet? I feel like I thought we were going to get that back. I thought we were just waiting on screen tech to catch up or something to be reliable. Nope, everyone else is freaking doing it. I don't know, there's things like that. And then the front-facing camera. Everyone's looking at this camera. Upgrade this one. Like, these, yeah, okay, they're fine. Everyone looks at this one. Upgrade that one. Like, I don't understand. Like, everyone's using this to do FaceTimes and do all. Make that one better. Everyone's using that one. Like, you tried to weasel your way around it last year by, like, doing this whole sync thing when you put it by your desktop or laptop, and then it uses your back cameras. But not everyone wants to do that. Like, on the go, when I'm talking to my phone for social media or something. Like, make that one better. I feel like they just pick the weirdest things to upgrade and go, that's what people are going to watch. And then when they don't, they're like, well, it's just that's how people are. And I don't know. It's just been an odd time for like Apple and Apple users, and I feel like we deserve some more innovation. Like the Apple Vision Pro, super stoked. I really, really want to try one out, see if I can get it to work in my workflow for editing and stuff. I just think that would be really cool. I've watched a couple people play with it, and like they're on the fence. It also still just came out. It's still a new product. I don't know. I could use it as a monitor, and then when I go like travel, I can edit photos on it. Like, I feel like that's cool. So, I don't know. I've said I don't know like 20 times because it's more just frustrations coming out because these are billion-dollar companies. They got money. They got plenty of your money on top of that. It's not just that they have money. They have your money and a lot of it. And I feel like there's just no excuses anymore when it comes to innovation, like trying new things and like really starting to make these advancements in tech like they should. Like, I feel like that's why GoPros, like we'll go back to that reference, have tanked so much. Like, there's competition now that like once they do something, the competition goes, oh, we could do that too. And then they dump it in a camera and throw it out there. And then GoPro loses sales and stuff because, I don't know, like not that many people need a GoPro. And the jumps aren't as big as they should be. Like, I don't know, we've been sitting on the same design for a hot minute. Like, I feel like this should be not that difficult, especially when you got the money to back it. That's where I give companies like GoPro a little bit more of a break because not everyone needs a GoPro. So when innovations are limited, I understand. I get it. It's not for everyone. So I consider them like a smaller company. And they're very niche. I get it. And they're really good at their niche. But I get when there's not huge leaps in innovation. Apple, on the other hand, I do not understand. You make billions of dollars, and I feel like we just see these minor steps time and time again. And I feel like when you got that much money, you have that much tech, it's inexcusable. So, I don't know. I had this argument on my last thing about Canon, and I had to give them credit where credit was due because this last camera that came out was not like that. They actually threw in a lot of stuff, a lot of good, necessary upgrades. Upgrades, not refinements, upgrades. And I will praise any company that does that. So, I don't know. Apple's frustrating me right now. Mainly because I was really looking forward to this being like the jump, and it just wasn't. Even with Apple Watch, like, what was that? We made it flatter. Yeah, okay. I don't think people hated how thick it was to begin with. Do they appreciate it being a little thinner? Yeah, sure, but I don't know. It's not that big of a jump to drop another $550 or whatever it is, $600 on a watch. Like, it's still, at the end of the day, it's a watch. I don't know. That's my rant for the day. Well, second one for the day, I guess. But I hope you guys have an amazing day at work, at home. God bless you. I hope it's fantastic. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.